Thank you so much. So today I'll be presenting to you my paper, which I have recently presented in the SICE conference, which is Comparative International Education Research Society, 2 weeks ago in New Orleans. So the topic of my paper is implementing the One Laptop program in Palestinian elementary schools, opportunities and challenges. So to give you like introduction about what I'm going to do today. So today I will talk about the education system in Palestine in general, and then I will talk about the education dilemmas that led to implement this program. And then I'll talk about the implementation of one laptop per child, how it was introduced, and how it works, and what are the strengths and weakness of this program. So let's first talk about Palestine in general and its demography, where it's located, and all of that. So this is the Palestinian flag, and this is the Palestinian map. So after the Israeli occupation, that happened in 1948, the Palestinian has separated into 2 different regions, which is Gaza, which you will see here, and West Bank, which is here. So that is Palestine. So there are 2 separate regions. So for people to move from Gaza to their relatives in here, they have to go through Egypt and then go to Jordan, and then they can go to West Bank, and also vice versa. So people here in West Bank, if they want to go and visit their relatives here, they have to go all the way from Jordan and then to Egypt. So the Palestinian land is pretty small. So in Gaza Strip, for example, it's about 139 square miles. So it's about the distance from here to Chicago. And but it's really has large population. So for example, for this little area, we have 1.4 million people living in Gaza. While in West Bank, it's about 2,177 square miles. And it has 2.4 million people. However, I mean this West Bank, all of this area, it has lots of settlements, Israeli settlements, and it also has lots of checkpoints, which is about 110 miles square of the whole area, which is 2,177 square miles. So the language that has been used in Palestine is the Arabic language, and they use English language as a second language. And the religion that is dominant in Palestine is Islamic, and also we have the Christianity. So education system in Palestine is separated into different stages. So first, we have the preschool education. So preschool education is not compulsory, and like it's optional. So people who wants to have their kids go to preschool and they need to go there, then they can go there. Elementary education starts from first grade until 10th grade. And elementary education is also divided into 2 stages. So we have the preparatory stage, which starts from grade 1st to 4th grade. And we have the empowerment stage, which starts from 5th grade to 10th grade. Secondary education comes next. Secondary education starts from grade 11 to grade 12. Higher education or post-secondary education, we have different kinds of different types of higher education. So we have private universities, we have public universities, we have community colleges, and we have technical colleges. And this varies from 2 years to 4 years. And we also have like a graduate school until master degree only. So that's about the education system in Palestine in a nutshell. So now I want to tell you more issues in education system in Palestine to be aware of the education system there. So education is considered a first priority for Palestinian people because of like the occupation and because of the isolation. So all the things that people do is just focusing on education, and they wanted to be more educated. So youth literacy rate, which is from the age of 15 to 24, is 99.4% in 2011. And almost all of the schools, because we have like higher degree of people who go to schools, so almost schools have double shift. So we have the morning shift and we have the afternoon shift. The morning shift starts from 7 to 12, and then we have the afternoon shift, which starts from 12 until 5. So, and also schools are segregated by gender. So we have, especially in public schools, so we have boys' schools and we have girls' schools. And also sometimes they have some mixed schools in elementary right now for first grade, second, and third. But right now they started to make it also more like they started to unify all schools to be segregated. So the national curriculum and Palestinian curriculum is centralized and unified, and actually the curriculum in Palestine is relatively new. So so it's been initiated in 2000, started to be initiated in 2000, and then all the textbooks were ready in 2006 and was implemented in schools. So before that time, all the curriculum was so people in Gaza Strip, they were studying Egypt curriculum because the curriculum was imposed by like the occupation. So we did not have a chance to have our own curriculum. So people in Gaza Strip used to study the Egyptian curriculum, and people in West Bank used to study the Jordanian curriculum. And by any chance, if like any word or any pictures touch the Palestinian identity, it just will be eliminated from the textbooks, and no one get a chance to learn about the history and the heritage about Palestinian and Palestinian country and Palestinian culture. And but later on, the curriculum, the Palestinian government started to have its own curriculum and started to have insert the national identity in the curriculum and all the text in all the textbooks. And like I said, all the textbooks are unified in Gaza Strip and in West Bank. So all the teachers follow these textbooks. So gender equality. So basically, there is no problem in gender equality in Palestine. So according to the statistics, Palestinian statistics, the female youth literacy rate is 99.5 in 2011. And the male youth literacy rate is 99.3 in 2011. So basically, there is no problem in gender. So males and females are both educated on the same level. And maybe female is little more. So yeah, teacher education and preparation. So for teacher education, usually teachers go to university and study for 4 years. And during their study, they go to training program and for 1 year, and it's really intensive. So they go for the whole year practicing in schools. And after that, when they are finished and when they got their degrees, so in order to apply to be teachers in schools, they have to be over 75% out of 100 in their GPA in order to apply to be a teacher. And not only that, so after they got this degree, this GPA, then they have to go through different exams. So first, they take like general written exams for all of the teachers, and then if they pass these exams, they took a limited number of the people who applied, who succeeded in these exams, and then after that they do interview for the teachers, and after they do interview for the teachers, they select like few people, and it's really also harder in honor schools because they always, need people who have more GPA and higher achievement level in the exams. And after that, once they succeed all of these examinations, they don't really hired like they do not be officially hired. They like be in like they work hourly, and after that they be after 1 year they can be officially hired. So now let's talk about school types in Palestine. So like I said before, school starts from 1st until 12th grade in Palestine, and they are separated into private sector and public sector. So the private sector, it's 11% in Palestine, which includes Gaza Strip and the West Bank. And actually, people who go there, it's basically people who have the money, and it's from upper class and middle class people, and for people whoever can afford to go to these schools. And we have different kind of private schools. We have Islamic schools, we have international schools, and we also have we have like different kinds of, and these schools range from like really high tuition, which around like 1,000 per semester, and to like about 400 per semester. And also for public schools, we have two kinds of public schools here. So 70% of the public schools are governed and administered and supported by Palestinian government. And these schools serves the main inhabitant of Gaza and the main inhabitant of West Bank, so not the refugee Palestinians who immigrated from the land during the war 1948. So for these refugees, there are special schools for them, which is the UNRWA school, and this is supported and administered by the United Nations, which is UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Work Agency, and it serves the refugees' families and their kids and children, these families who have immigrated from the land in 1948 war. So my focus here will be in UNRWA schools because this is where I have my experience there teaching, and because the program of the 1 laptop per child was been implemented in this area, in this schools. So why the OLPC? Why the UNRWA schools thought of implementing the OLPC? So in order to know why the United Nations implemented this OLPC, I'm going to talk about the challenges and the obstacles that led the UNRWA schools implement this program. So one of these obstacles to education is the occupation that may comes anytime to schools. So like look here, this is the school in regular days, and this is the school if during the bump, and during the bump, so just be totally destroyed. But the life goes on, and the kids continue, and they go to schools. They challenge all of these situations, and they still go to school. But unfortunately, they go to schools and see the destruction, demolishing of all of their schools and all of their materials and resources. So schools are not a safe place for children to go there. It's actually affect their education and make like schools not like a safe place for them, and hinder the education process and the development of the education. So this is one of the reasons behind OLPC. Another dilemma is the electricity outage. So people in Palestine, like they have the electricity keep coming out all the time, every day for about 8 hours. But students continue and challenge, and they study, and they use the candles to do their homework. So because there is no electricity and there is no access to computer or anything. So this dilemma also affected also in the technology access. So because there is electricity outage, so the internet users and the technology users are really pretty low in Palestine. So you will look here and look at the statistics from 2000 until 2010, and you will be able to see the comparison here. So the red color represents the population, and the blue color represent the users. And all of these statistics has been taken from the Internet World Statistics. So you will see here how like the internet users is pretty low. So because of all of this, so schools started to think more seriously about how to solve the problems in education, and how to open more opportunity for students to see the outside world, because even they are isolated, but let's give them a chance to explore what's going on in the outside world. Let's give them a chance to have better education and more chance to explore what's going on in the other world. So for that reason, they have implemented the program One Laptop Per Child. So the program One Laptop Per Child is an international program, and it's been used in different countries around the world. So the blue dots here represent all the countries that are using these XO laptops. So these laptops are called XO laptops, and they have like good features that fits the problems that we have in Palestine. So one of these features is the occupation and having schools destroyed. So these laptops can benefit children if the school is destroyed, so they can learn in their home or wherever. And also all of the curriculum and all of the textbooks are integrated into these laptops. And another thing is these laptops are child use, so it's really has a child friendly, so children can use it and put it in their backpack. It has like a small size, and it's portable, and actually have internet access and use the energy power. So it can be charged for a long time. So if there is no electricity, then it works for a long time in a day. So there is no problem for that. And over 2.4 million children and teachers have used the XO laptops around the world. So the dream came true, and this program has been implemented in the school year 2010, and the funding organization was the United Nations with the help of the Jordanian government and also South Korea. And once the program has been implemented, they distributed about 2,100 laptops in Gaza Strip, and especially in the rural areas where there are a lot of poor people. And they have distributed 1,000 XO laptops in West Bank and also in rural areas, and especially in the city of Ramallah and city of Nablus. And the goal was to target all of these disadvantaged students in Gaza and West Bank. And actually it targets first grade and second grade basically. So how this works? So in order to have like effective learning, the school thought of like do a reform, a change in the education process, a change that make this program more effective and benefit all the students. So that's why they have introduced, initiated a program called Interactive Learning Program. So interactive learning program is basically like everything is based in technology, everything is based on like interactive learning. So in order to implement this program, the schools has implemented a teacher workshop. So they thought that teachers need to know how to use these XO laptops in order to do lesson plans for the students. Teachers need to know to be comfortable in using these laptops in order to manage and organize the education process and what's happening in the classroom. So the honor schools have implemented several workshops for the teachers to make them comfortable using these XO laptops. And you will see here in the picture some picture of teachers in the workshop. And also not only that, this program also needed to have like parents also workshop. The parents needs to know how to use these laptops to help their children learn, effectively using these laptops. So honor schools implemented workshop for parents to help the parents use these laptops effectively. And you will see here how the parents are coming to schools and trying to learn how to use these laptops. Because if the parents know, then they will help their children do their homework. And also students workshop. So the schools also implemented workshop for students, like in summer camp, to help these students be familiar and know how to use these computer skills. So when they go to school, they will be ready to learn, and they will have no problem in that. And the content is really important. So that's why the honor schools has hired some people to program all of the textbooks, because we have like unified textbooks. So the honor schools have hired some people to make all of the textbooks digital, electronic, and make educational programs and software and implement these in the laptops, and then download it in the laptops to help students learn in a more effective way, in more interactive, more fun and interesting way. So what are the outcomes? In a nutshell, these outcomes are based on some teachers' interviews and web documents from the UNESCO website, from the UNRWA website for Gaza uh, for Gaza and West Bank schools. So the OLPC strength, it provides better learning opportunity for children to have like more collaborative and more joyful learning. So learning is based on games. So instead of using the paper and pencil to write their homework, so now they can play games at the same time they are doing homework, and at the same time they are learning. And also learning can be happen anytime, anywhere. So if there's war, if there's the school are destroyed, then children can work wherever, even in the streets. And you will see here some pictures of students working in their laptops in the street. And also it will increase access to information and communication technology, especially for those people who are really poor and they don't have the skills to use the computer technology. So these laptops will help them to provide them with learning opportunities and with the skills needed in the 21st century. And it will improve their computer skills. So now let's talk about the challenges. So for every good things, there is also some bad things. So the challenges here, let's talk about the teacher, from teachers' perspectives. So there are always some teachers who are really skeptical and they are traditional in their way of teaching. So, and they may not be comfortable of using the Excel. They may not be comfortable of changing the way how they taught for 30 years or more. So there are some resistance from teachers' point, and also from students' difficulties here, because also there are some difficulties for students here as well, because the classroom in Palestinian schools is pretty high. So we have like about 40 students in one class, and not all of these students have the same level of learning. So some students have like really high level, and the other students are really low. So that's why some students have also more computer skills than the others. So students who do not have the skills needed, then they will be a little bit behind to follow up with the other students. Not only that, another point here in student difficulties is everything is based in like computers. Everything is based on the computer. So when students move from second grade and then they go back to third grade, their handwriting is still not really, it's still slow, not really when it's been compared with other students who did not have like, who did not learn this way. Because everything is based on computers, so they did not have a chance to practice handwriting. So that's why when they move to third grade, their handwriting will not be efficient. And classroom distraction, because these laptops based in interactive and more effects, sound effects, so it will create distraction in the classrooms and in the learning process. Another issues is the technical issues. So if these laptops, for any reasons, have some technical problems, then it will hinder the education process. So, and will also let the schools to like hire some people to fix these laptops, and this will need, of course, more budget, and it will also hinder the education process for these students who have some technical issues with their laptops. So that's my presentation in a nutshell. We talk about the education system, we talk about school types, we talk about the education dilemmas that led to the OLPC program, we talk about the implementation of the OLPC programs. And this is really, these are my resources. Thank you, and please let me know if you have any questions.
We have like 10-15 minutes for questions.
surprised at the low amount of laptops that are used in the program, like
Yes.
2,000? I mean, what's the population of Gaza?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a really good question. Thank you so much, Angela. Yeah, actually, the number of laptops that I have shown here, it's was distributed in 2010 when the program was first initiated, but then it was increased to about like 5,000 total. So they had also 1,000 for West Bank extra, and about the rest for Gaza schools.
There are a couple of million people in Gaza.
There is a lot of people.
So how do they choose?
Yes, they choose according to the rural areas. So, for example, the very, very poor area. So, yeah, they have implemented this program in Rafah, in like a city where is like really poor people, lots of children in schools that they don't have access, and the social economic status for them is pretty low. Yeah, but I think it's a good questions. Thank you. Mark, go ahead.
So thank you for your presentation, and
Yeah.
you might have mentioned at the beginning, but I was wondering what your relationship was to this program. Were you teaching in a school where you were using this with your students?
Thank you so much for your questions. In fact, I was not teaching there, and actually I had all of this information and all of these resources from the web documents and from interviewing some teachers there. But no, I was not actually in these schools. And yeah, so this is actually not like this small research. Let's not like it's in early stages, could say. But yeah, so I wrote it for one of my papers. Yeah, but thank you. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Two brief questions.
Yeah, sure.
This program,
OLPC, yes.
OLPC, aim to cover all the children, or how many % of the Palestinian children first? Second question is, I'm interested in how you expect the parents to be able to, join the workshop and then help the children. I was wondering, what is the educational background or computer literacy of the parents so that they would be able to support their children?
Yeah, thank you so much. Your questions is really good questions. So the first, the population, like I said, in Palestine, it's is pretty high, and maybe I answered this question before. So they distribute this laptops for all the students in the schools. I don't know if that's what you mean. So all the students in one specific school, and then they target the schools that really in poor areas. Is that answer your question?
Yeah, and that would be how many of the
children
population, if you have any idea?
Children population, I'm not sure about the children population, but like I said, like we have about 40 students and in the classroom. Yeah. And what was the other questions?
Parents,
oh, the parents. The parents. Maybe if you have like been to the presentation, the parents are really literate and very educated in Palestine, but most of them, they lack the computer skills. I mean, especially poor people, not most of them. So yeah, that's why they have introduced them to these workshops to help their children. The goal was to help their children later on to do their homework. So if children need help, imagine, they are like children who are 6 years old and 7 years old. So they will need help. So teachers alone cannot, help 40 students in the class to be to have the computer skills needed in specific time, and schools have 2 shifts. So that's why they wanted parents to also be aware of this technology and how to use this technology effectively so they can help their children. And they were very excited about it. Yeah, thank you so much. Any more questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you again for your presentation because
You're welcome.
on the university, whenever we hear about Palestine, it's usually not in relation to the education system. So this is the first time I've actually been able to attend a presentation like that. So I really appreciate it. I was also surprised to see, I think we assume a lot that if a country has gender segregation policies, that also equates into disparities in educational access. But you can see from the literacy rates that you presented that that's not always necessarily true. So that was interesting to learn about. I had a specific question about the UN schools. You said that there was a centralized curriculum. Is that also true for
Yes.
the UN schools?
Thank you. Yes.
And do they also, are they pretty good about hiring Palestinian teachers to teach in school? Because I know language issues in UN-run schools are an issue in other countries, especially in refugee camps.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for your questions. Yes, actually the curriculum is centralized and unified in private schools and also honor schools and also in the schools that runs by the Palestinian government. So all of the different sectors of schools follow the same curriculum, the same textbooks. Especially you would say that some other schools have some enrichment. So for example, private schools, they have enrichment program to include more like curriculum for students, more languages, more other things. So yeah, and that's answer the first question. And for the second questions, yeah, honor schools is really, really strict in choosing the teachers in schools. So they always take teachers who have really, really high grades and who they go through like different steps. And actually in honor schools, they go to one extra steps. And actually when I was mentioning that the teachers in the first year will not be officially hired, I meant in honor schools. Because honor schools, teachers spend 1 year not really officially hired until they prove that they are really good, and that after that they can hire them officially in schools. Yeah, actually. So, any other questions?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is really thought-provoking since we had a rehearsal yesterday. We have been talking a lot about school as a safe, not a safe place for our children. And I was thinking like, so when we were asking that question, for example, in our critical pedagogy class, we think about those schools who would be bombed, those children who would went to school and that school not as a safe place. So like it really provoked me to think a lot when I'm studying here about pedagogy, about, for example, when we are thinking, so we have to give voices to our students from all different backgrounds about their identity. But do we think about those places, or those educational systems who are not even allowed to have their own curriculum, talking about their own history, talking about their own identity? So like it really add a lot into our discussion about our thinking here about education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophie. Yeah, we should always think of other ways. So if there's problems or something, they would always be challenged.
Yeah.
And think of other ways.
I knew that you did this research while you were here. You did it actually before the program was implemented.
Yes, yes. Do you want me to follow? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the halter here, I had this. I wrote actually, yeah, 2 years ago when I was doing my master's degree, I wrote this paper and about implementing the one laptop per child in Palestinian elementary schools in one of my courses. And actually at that time, this program was not been implemented. Actually, I wrote it in 2009 specifically. So the program was not been implemented before. But later on, this program, I was really surprised to hear that this program was really implemented. So I was so excited about this idea.
So in your research, did you touch upon like the for example, like it's good, but as we have been asking, like it cannot really solve.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why for every like good thing, there are always bad things. So it's not really solve the problems. It's so, I mean, costly. We need lots of fundings. We need lots of workshop, and yeah, so always there are some problems for any program. Yeah, sure.
Talk a little. It was a great presentation, and
thank you.
Really good what Sophie's mentioning about how can you look education when you hear this.
Yes.
And I was wondering about the experience of the teachers. You say that you talk with some teachers that are doing this, I think.
Yes.
And what they tell you about the program, because you think in a different country and you say, oh, teachers doesn't like technological too much, they don't know how to use it. Or some teachers like, so what they have experienced with the program?
Yes, some teachers were really excited about it, and like saying like this is like an innovation. It's a good way for us to do this program, especially young teachers. That based on one of the interview that I have done, and some old teachers that they have the fear of technology, you know, from inside. They feel like, oh my, okay, I can do this or I can't do this. They have some, you know, fear about it. So it varies, you know, from teachers, from their skills, computer skills, their age, their teaching experience also. It's really matters for them. Because people, I mean, for teachers who have experience teaching for 30 years, using the traditional approach, pencil-based and rote learning, it's hard for them to change everything and just be able to watch and make learning more collaborative. So it's a new way, although they have like workshop, but still, you know, the fear, the feelings, it varies from teachers to others. Any more questions? Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
I just realized it's so unique, your presentation about this education system, especially touching the school that run by the UN, and it comprised 13%, which is bigger in terms of student size than the private number of children.
Right.
So I was wondering how the arrangement is made with the government, if there is any, you know, political, you know, aspect, or how the UN involvement is defined in terms of managing the school. Are they only like running the school, providing the funding, or they actually, you mentioned the curriculum is still using the same
curriculum, that's right.
But I was wondering how
the other things,
whether there is some, you know, political agenda of the UN as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. It's really good questions. Yeah, so for on our school, maybe if you see the rate is pretty low compared with others, because on our schools it actually covers first grade until 9th grade. So it does not cover 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grades. So that's why the number of schools is less, and it's really very crowded. So that's the number of schools. But the students in these schools are so high. So when I used to study there and teach there, you will have like 40 students in the classroom. So that's why. And the other things, the questions about how it's the management issues. So the management issues is like, for example, in honor schools, they have they do extra stuff. They follow the governments in the textbooks, and they in their exams, they have their own exams. They have more workshop for teachers. They have more funding. They have more stuff. But they follow only in the curriculum, and actually the beginning of the school year and the ending of the school year, it's the same in the government schools. private schools and also in the honor schools, yes. So basically the general issues is the same, but like honor schools has more freedom to enhance, develop in their schools the way how they want. Yes.